Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can see me here. And I'm coming you from it live. Just want to do a sound check. If my sound is coming in okay, right? Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, looks like it's doing pretty okay, and seems to be all right. The sound is coming in okay. That's most important, just to check out all the sounds are there, and hopefully you can see me too. All right, so that's good too. And how is everybody doing in here? And we are today with my host, Mr. Leong, coming for another Warrant Tuesday. That's right. Now, thank you for coming in here. And for those of you who are coming today, we have a treat for you, which is our Warrant Shout Out Contest. And those of you who came the last time when we have our live FB, certainly you will be been rewarded with our voucher in here. And today it is also the same thing. How about, and we will also find 10 new winners, that's right, in here. So just let us know where you're listening in from, and we really appreciate all the support that you're given. And also, just not to forget, from the main conference that we did together with the Macquarie last month on the conference, which we had some invited guests in here. We also have something for you today at the end of the show, so don't miss us out. But let's go on to what we have for you this afternoon. That's right, in here, and together with my host here, Mr. Leong, coming here, which will also join us very shortly in here. And so far, let's take a look at what we have for you for our program agenda for Warrant Tuesday, 3rd of August. I will talk a bit about the KLCI outlook, and also the technology sectors, which seem to be in the many minds of a lot of people in there, just to give you a bit of update. And also we're going to be looking at the stocks that is relevant, which is no other than the tech stocks, which we talked about last month in the month of July, DNO, UWC, and Great Tech. Then we're going to move on to the warrant shout out and a little bit about more about the contest and how you can participate in here and win this 50 ringgit GrabFood voucher and a total prize money of 500 ringgit sponsored by Macquarie in here. And also, not to forget, is the heat map, the warrant heat map, which my host here, Mr. Leong, is going to talk about also the Malaysian, and also we know what happened generally in the Hong Kong side with the China crackdown and the large sell-off that we see, and not forgetting way to take opportunity for the Hang Seng HSI and also SP500, and not forgetting is to update you on the warrant stock, both looking at the bullish and bearish sentiment for Geely, BYD, Tencent, Xiaomi, Alibaba, and Meituan, okay? And also the technology second half of 2021, which I feel that which we'll see the likelihood of rebound. I was just going to update you on that one. And finally is also looking at the audience stock review. All right, so that's what we're gonna be on. So first thing I want to share with you right now is the so-called the technology market outlook here. Okay, now if you look around technology market, the technology stock that we've seen in here. Now, of course, one of the things that many of you would have known right now is the continual bullishness of the semiconductors. Even yesterday and today, stocks like ENO, DNO, those are really done well. And one way you want to do that is to use the heat map. Of course, I'm doing a bit faster here. And what we normally do, you can just look at the weekly bullish. So when you look at the bullishness, you can definitely see these are the stock that come into mind, right? The higher the number, right, in terms of weekly momentum, just mouse it on and we'll tell you something. It means it's more bullishness. And so far, the last month in July, we talked about DNO, UWC, and Great Tech. Those are done well. And how many of you did participate or at least bought some of those shares we talked about in July? And remember, this continued bullishness of tech stock is still remaining in here. And definitely you can just look at one of the stocks that we have was DNO, and you just click 7204 here. And you can just scroll it up. And last month, we were in the month of, I think, first week of month, you could see this market was around 480. And right now, we are 480 to 540 using my calculator that I have here. That's a 540 if, right, the potential profit we are looking at, it's almost $1.25 divided by 480. That gives me a 23%. That's right, a 23%. And if you multiply that by 4 or 5 times, you're talking about 80% kind of profit potential over a period of 1 month. Of course, we all know warrant, it is with its volatility, so do trade with caution, have of trading bank. If you hit your profit target, take it whatever, but it is an opportunity, having said that. So this is the D&O stocks. Then the other one that we talk about in our list that we have here is D&O. Then we have UWC, all right, and this way you can see better. So let's look at UWC, which is 5293. So click on that one. Again, you can see this chart coming out right here, should be right. Okay, so this is the 3-month chart. You could see again, very bullish beginning of the month. Again, they're talking about 80 cents in here. Very, very similar. Definitely a double-digit return. So that is, and I think today UWC continue to make new high. If you look back at the last 6 months, where we came from, we were at a technical base. You can see the technical base of the chart in here. Green panel come in, really pay dividend. This time you have a double support there around 5 ringgit, and the market now rifle almost to touching $6 right now, if you're not mistaken. All right, last look, we can definitely look into that later on, but we will get also. And if you're interested in those, just look at UWC associated warrant. We will come back to it. But today I want to leave that later on for my host, Mr. Leong here to talk about. And finally, not to forget, is Great Tech. And you can see here 0208, similar kind of story in here. You can see from the beginning of July, the takeout of the uptrust, every uptrust that you see, the market continue to make higher. That tells you how strong this bull is. That's right. So this is one of the real benefit in here, able to buy on the long. And later on, when we talk about Hong Kong warrant, that's where my host, Mr. Leong from Macquarie, will talk about the ability to short, long and short on that one in here. So that's really one of the great beauty in here. And let's go on to what we have next is our warrant shout out. Okay, now warrant shout out, it's very important. So make sure you tag 3 friends. Okay, make sure you tag 3 friends in the post or the comment below in here. And also, when you tag those 3 friends, make sure you talk about or you type in the warrant, which will be discussed by my speaker here, my co-host here, Mr. Leong Meng. So make sure you watch what he says when we go through all this stock so far. All right. So make sure you have that 3 friends and 3 warrant that he talks about. That's all you need to know. And then you submit within the 3 to 4 p.m. within this contest times, you submit in there, and our organizers will contact you by Facebook Messenger. And if you are the winner, you stand a chance of 50 ringgit voucher, and we will send this voucher to you by either messenger or through your apps inside here. All right, so take note of our warrant shout out contest. 10 winners, right? 10 winners. Okay, now let's go on to next is I'm going to bring in my fellow co-host speaker in here, and Mr. Leong is going to talk a bit about what's happening in Hong Kong and also the scene on our Malaysian market update. Okay, Mr. Leong.
Hi, thank you so much, Martin. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for tuning in to our Warrant Tuesday Facebook Live today. So do make sure you pay attention on the warrants, Macquarie warrants that I mentioned throughout this webinar from 3 to 4 p.m. and you will stand a chance to win the 50 ringgit GrabFood vouchers. So if you like our sharing today, please like the post and also share it with your friends. And before we go into Warrant Heat Map 2, which is like the main topic for today, here's a quick update on the warrants happening in the month of July. So in terms of overall warrant activity, we see a slightly higher interest. In terms of warrants turnover is about 10% higher. But what really caught my attention is in the last week of July, which is just last Monday and Tuesday, the Hang Seng Index futures actually tumbled more than 3,000 points in just 2 days, last Monday and Tuesday itself, on the back of tighter regulations on Chinese education companies. So our Malaysia investors actually were still very bullish on Hang Seng, bought more than a total of 120 million units of Hang Seng core warrants. Of course, not just one Hang Seng core warrants, it's over 6 different Hang Seng core warrants. And I mean, subsequently on Wednesday, Thursday, HSI futures rebounded about 1,000 points. So those investors who bought those warrants at the low price actually saw their position actually up about 70% by Thursday. And besides that, we do see some investors taking positions in the local benchmark KLCI warrants, especially the put warrant. They basically want to short the market because the futures actually plunged below the 1,500 support level last Friday. So pretty much that's what happened, interesting happenings in July, I would say. And since we are going to use warrant heat map to analyze our Hong Kong stock as mentioned by Martin, so let me just go through some common features of this free tool. Basically just a warrant heat map 101. Martin, can you maximize the screen? Yep, so this is the warrant heat map tool that we have on our website, malaysiawarrants.com.my. So first of all, a very simple, clean table, whereby, as the name suggests, it's a heat map, right? So therefore, you see a lot of different color boxes at the middle. Of course, there are 4 different colors only: red, orange, light green, and also dark green. In which all these different color actually indicates whether the stock or an index, they are either bullish or actually bearish in the short and medium term. And this is very easy. So for example, if you are like us, you're very busy, no time, just probably spend 5 minutes on warrant heat map. Just look at the stock that you want, whether in short term or medium term is actually bullish or bearish. So besides that, let's say if you have a little bit more time, you want more details from technical point of view, you can actually just click on the TA chart, which is the first column. For example, we click on the TA chart for HSI, the first one. So once you click on it, you are able to view the candlestick chart, either 3 months or 6 months. And on top of that, the best part is on the warrant heat map itself, you are able to see the Pentagon Guider, which is created by TradeBSA. So this Pentagon Guider, there's 2 different colors. There's red and there's green. Most of the time, once a red pentagon appears, you will see the share price start to, or index prices start to go lower and lower. But on the other hand, if you see a green pentagon, then probably you will see the stock rebounding. So that's usually how it works. Besides that, I would say we can't actually name these 2 warrant heat map without any element of warrants, I would say. So if you are like, for example, like me, if you're interested to trade Hang Seng warrants, you just click on Hang Seng, look at the good Macquarie warrants available that you can trade in the market right now, which probably later we will actually explain more. Why is it green color? Why is it orange color? But last but not least, which is the feature I like the most about warrant heat map, which is the filter function. So if you actually just go all the way up, you click on the filter function, there are 8 different filters that you can select. Just now, Martin tried the bullish weekly, which is a short-term bullish filter. But me personally, I like the green pentagon because it's easier. They just tell you which particular stock has a green pentagon just yesterday. So looking at today itself, these 2 stocks, DNO and VS, actually show a green pentagon. So if you want to know what warrants to buy, you just go to warrant heat map and click on DNO or VSI. But probably we won't touch much on the local stock warrants today. I will probably pass it to Martin to go into the index first, which is the Hang Seng and SP500 outlook.
All right. Thanks a lot. Okay, so that was Cummings talking about the overall Malaysia and Hong Kong warrant. Now let's look at Hang Seng right now. Let's look at the potentially and what's the trend in here. Of course, the easiest way to look at it is to see the continued downtrend. Now, what you have here right now, we are still in the red pentagon. Of course, when that happened, 4th of July, that is also the same time with the Independent Day, market continue to break down. So right now, if you follow, the trend is still down, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So you can see here, trend is still down. Of course, you don't want to go long for the shorter term for Hang Seng unless we see some sort of a green pentagon, and that's the way to look at it. Of course, in between during the day, you can actually trade shorter time frame in here. So let's look at there. If I'm bearish on the Hang Seng with the continued news of the crackdown, even this morning in here, there's one of the stocks, Tencent, also had a bit of a whipsaw because of the comment that was made about the games. So if you look at Hang Seng, wow, that's a lot of stocks in here. So Mr. Leong, right? So if I want to short the Hang Seng, which would be the best in here? Is it a tight spread or what we call a wide spread? All right.
All right, so first of all, if you want to short the market, then you shouldn't be looking at a call, which is C. Under the type, you should avoid the C. You should go straight to the P.
All right.
P is actually the put warrants. So as you can see, there are quite a number, quite a long list, like at least 10 to 12 of them. So first of all, what you do is you actually avoid everything which is highlighted in orange, because orange actually means that that particular warrant will be expiring soon. So what I will usually do is I will look at the first green color box. So if you scroll a little bit higher, Martin, scroll a little bit higher, yes, there's one, the first put, okay, this first put HSI HG1. This is the first put which is highlighted in the green box with a price of 22 cents and it's on a tight spread. So any warrant which is highlighted in green means that expiry is good, liquidity is good, and this warrant has 2 months left to expiry. So it's good for short-term trade. If you are day trading or you are just doing swing trading, maximum holding period 1 to 2 weeks, you may consider HSI HG1. All right.
There you go. That is the first stock that was mentioned by Mr. Leong here. Okay, take note for those of you who are interested on the shout out. How about others? Is there any other potential one in here for the put other than HG1? Oh, that's the best one you've seen so far.
So far, I think HG1, HG2, they are both all right. But I think at the end of the day, it depends on you as an investor, because sometimes warrant price does matter. HG2 price is actually double of HG1. One at 22 cents and one at 47 cents. So usually investors will actually like to go for the cheaper one, the HG1. Mainly is because of the low warrant price.
Okay, good. All right, so that is Hang Seng, and next we're going to talk about is the S&P 500. Now, we all know S&P 500 has been very bullish, right? You see in here. No doubt there wasn't any green pentagon in here because of the volume in here, but I do think that right now we should be bullish on the S&P 500. There is a possibility, yes, that the S&P 500 may turn bearish, but we haven't seen those in yet. And remember, the last time when it turned red pentagon in here, and what I did understand is the market was reacting to the Delta variant being present in the US market. And right now, as we speak of, we are still getting a lot of all these cases been growing. And of course, Florida is being one of the biggest outbreak of the Delta variant in here. But the market, in my opinion, has pretty much priced in this, because one of the reasons why is the CDC will be issuing some issued or warning to the public, but it's not shutting down the American economy as such, that we still want to maintain a bullishness on the US market in here. So if I'm bullish for the US, definitely is call, right? Am I right, Mr. Leong in here? You want to care to speak on this part here?
Yep, Martin, you are right on that. If you want to go long on particular stock or particular index, you look at call warrant. So the list here actually tells us everything. Most of the calls available is actually orange in color. The expiry is very close. So look for the first call, which is highlighted in green, as mentioned earlier. So it will be S&P 500 CU. S&P 500 CU, this will be the focus call warrant for S&P 500 if you decided to go long on the S&P 500 market. You are confident in US market, you can look at this. So in terms of some warrant terms here is that do take note that S&P 500 CU will actually expire on the 16th of December 2021. So you have about 5 months left to expiry, but do just take note that don't hold all the way into expiry, because I think essentially warrant is just a short-term trading tool for investors.
Okay, so those are the two index that we talk about. Now, this is one thing very interesting compared to some of you who are familiar with futures, right? So when you are familiar with, you tend to buy the stocks, but in this case, for Macquarie structured warrant, you can actually buy either a call to go long and put to go short. All right, so that's one of the real benefits of using the call warrant here. And for a small sum, you can have exposure either to the long and short side. All right, right now we're going to go back to the Hong Kong side. Okay, now it's going to go back to Hong Kong side. The stock warrant update we're going to talk about is definitely two very bullish on Hong Kong stock. And recently, with the news that you've seen, Tesla came out with a very surprise good earnings, and also Xpeng and NIO, all the electric car are electric flight. That's how I want to describe it. So not all things are down in Hang Seng. Having said that, the electric car in this case, you can see from here is BYD, okay, 1211, and also Geely 0175. It's going to be bullish, and you can see this one just take off recently, and you can see we just have a green pentagon. That's it. This is what I've talked about. Once the green pentagon starts to move up, and you have this very nice uptrend move. So think bullish for the BYD in here, and pretty easy, right? There's only one call warrant. All right, Mr. Leong, care to comment on this one?
Yeah, of course. Since there's only one, nothing much in terms of comparison, I would say. But just wanted to highlight some key features of this particular BYD C4, which is a call warrant over BYD. So if you are an investor who are interested in BYD, you want to actually go long on this stock, you may consider BYD C4. So this warrant has even longer expiry in January next year. So warrants with 6 months for expiry in terms of time decay is actually pretty low. And for your record, for your reference, this particular warrant has been, the bid price has been up more than actually 30% in the past 2 days after the green pentagon appeared on the chart. So don't miss all these, trend or even the appearance of the green pentagon. So make sure you look at the warrant heat map on a daily basis to get this sort of trading ideas for free.
Okay, that's the first one, BYD. And another stock that should be in the mind, and remember they are involved with Foxconn on developing potentially the Apple car for 2024, and which is only about 2 to 3 years there. And you can see green pentagon just came out only very recent. You can see this one in here. So on the associated, we got a few more. We can go long and we can go short, right, Mr. Leong here?
Yes, Martin, we can either go long or go short. There's two warrants here, but of course, since you mentioned that this particular stock, EV space, Geely's recent news flow with Apple car and things like that, probably I think going long will be more, I think based on the chart itself should be going long. So I will just probably touch on the call warrant, which is Geely C5. This particular warrant in terms of the price is even lower than the earlier one, BYD C4. This Geely C5 is trading at 10 cents, 10.5 cents. But similarly to BYD C4, this warrant also is up about 30+% this week with about 4 to 5% both in the mother share. So don't worry that, if you want to trade Hong Kong stocks, you have to open a Hong Kong account. You can actually trade all these warrants over Hong Kong stocks like Geely and BYD, all with your existing CDS account with Bursa Malaysia. So if you don't believe, you go try it out. Type BYD C4 or Geely C5 on your platform, and you'll be able to see a buy and sell price over there.
Okay, just now we talked about those two bullish shares, and remember, right, what are those names in here? BYD and Geely. Now let's turn to the short side of being very bearish in here. So here, definitely what is in our mind are this morning, this news about Tencent, right? And also fell about 8% this morning here. And I think that trend will continue to persist. So definitely one shares you want to look at is Tencent. And this is the one. So looking at this chart here, Tencent, and the market has broke down. So let's look at the Tencent call warrant, okay, that's only one. Okay, let me just make this up a bit. All right, Mr. Leong?
Yep. So Martin, what do you think about Tencent? Do you think Tencent is going to rebound, or you think Tencent is going to break down?
I think Tencent has a little bit more room to go down. The news coming out hasn't settled out yet. As long as we've seen the news settle down. Most important, we want to see is some settling on the news. We haven't seen that yet. You can see here 10 cents. Today it went further down, right? It may be up just one more day and then it's going to come back down. Okay, so try to short at the resistance. Okay, so find a good location. Those of you can use charting in here or switch on to a more live trade to get a better price, but definitely it is looking short in here. Okay, but the market, remember, can turn anytime on. So when you do turn anytime, keep an eye for the green pentagon.
Yes, I mean, let's say if you are your intention is actually to go short, of course, look at put. Never look at call if you want to short the market. So there's one available 10 cent put, which is 10 cent H1, H for put. I repeat again, 10 cent H1. This is the only put available in the market for you to short 10 cent shares. So this particular warrant is actually, in terms of performance, is amazing because this warrant was listed back in end June. Back then, the listing price was around 13 to 14 cents. And right now, look at what market bid and ask price. It's actually up by more than threefold, more than 300%. Because 10 cent shares is actually down from about 500 plus all the way down to about 420 plus today. So if you want to catch the opportunity to trade the downside in all these kind of stocks, you may actually refer to the put warrant, which is 10 cent H1 in this case.
Okay, so we're done with 10 cent. Let's move to the next. In particular is Xiaomi, and this is 1810. Again, my point is still turning short on this phone. It doesn't go as fast as 10 cent in here, so this is why I still remain to be on bullish for Xiaomi in here. So for bullishness, again, we want to look at put. Okay.
All right, Martin, can you repeat that? I mean, are you bullish or you are bearish?
No, I'm bearish on this one.
If you are bearish, like same thing. If you're bearish, look at put. Always remember, bullish is call, bearish is put. So for put warrant, you have Xiaomi H1, which is also the only Xiaomi put available in the market. So you don't need to be confuse yourself. There's no other put warrants for you to choose. There's only one available, Xiaomi H1.
Okay. So that's good. All right, next we want to go on to Alibaba. Again, let's take a look at the chart for Alibaba here, 9988. Okay, and you can see I'm also bearish on Alibaba, and being Alibaba, there's only one. That's a H1 too. Am I correct?
Yes. In fact, actually, it's pretty easy today, Alibaba H1, Tencent H1, because all these warrants, they are the first put warrant over these Hong Kong stocks in Malaysia. That's why the code is actually H1. But if you compare Alibaba to Tencent, I will probably think that this Alibaba H1 in terms of movement-wise will be slightly faster because this warrant is actually more sensitive. If you look at the sensitivity column, that will tell you how sensitive is this particular warrant with respect to the movement in Alibaba shares. All right.
No, Mr. Leong, is a higher number or a lower number better for the sensitivity, in your opinion?
In terms of, let's say, if you are a day trader, Martin, if you're a day trader or even if you're a swing trader, we will probably think more sensitive will be better, which means the lower is the sensitivity number, the better it is, because it means that you can get in fast and also you can get out fast at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense a lot. All right, we're done with Alibaba. And last is Meituan, which is a food delivery, pretty much similar with Grab. Again, the crackdown they are doing on the Chinese, on the regulator, is really causing these shares to fall a lot too. Again, I'm looking to be bearish on this stock here. Okay, and if you look at that, there's only one. You can go short.
Yes, there's only one here, so you can also go short on Meituan, which is Meituan H1 put warrant. As you can see, this warrant is up about 3.2% today, but in the past 1 week or so, actually especially last week, due to the sell down in Hang Seng, Meituan is one of the leading losers, in Hong Kong market last week. So if you were to actually understand how put warrant works, then there are lots of opportunities. So investors do not have to worry that, when the market turns weak or when the market reverses, then you don't know what to do with your portfolio, you know what to trade. There are always these sort of innovative solutions out there or warrants out there for you to actually trade, regardless if it's an upside or downside market.
Okay, so that pretty much cover the stock that we have, and so now we're going to turn down back to our agenda for today. So you can see that we did cover those the 6 stocks that we have for the Hong Kong Hang Seng. And remember what Mr. Leong said, that the Macquarie structured product is the only product so far you can short the Hong Kong stock, like the Tencent, Xiaomi, Alibaba, and Meituan. If you are bearish, as what I've seen in the green and red pentagon in here, turn to buying a call put. All right. So the last part is item number 7 is a technology sector update, which in my opinion is still a very strong on the US side. And the only downside that we see right now in the China is because due to the crackdown, right? The crackdown that we've seen, that is really causing why this market is getting this issue that we have right now. Is partly is due to the Chinese do not want to relinquish the power, like pretty much what have we seen in the US side, where right now even the US government is kowtow to a lot of the Facebook. So they don't want that to happen, especially when your presidency being the strong component of the market there. So this is what we are seeing right now in here. But I think once they sorted it in out there, and eventually you will also see this on the green pentagon turning, then you have many of the tech sectors moving up. But right now, the semiconductors projection sales for going towards end 2021 and 2022 remain to be very, very strong, double-digit returns. And that's what we are seeing. The earlier Malaysia technology stock continue to do so well. I do think that right now, what is bullish for the Hong Kong market will remain to be the EV. You can check out some of the news that is already out there, the electric car, which also ties in with a lot of the green energy movement from Joe Biden policies that we've seen so far in here. So, and also the total number of electric car sales continue to be up. That's something I've talked about also on the Macquarie conference in here, and that is going to be a trend going forward as more and more people are a bit more receptive to EV. After all, you know, you may pay a bit more upfront, but you don't have to worry about petrol, right? And there's a lot of energy initiative going forward in here. So definitely that it seems to be a very excited area for the sector second half of the year. So, okay, now we finally return to our audience stock review in here. So we're just going to go through any of the audience want us to look at some Macquarie stock that they have, and we'll be, you know, very delighted look into here. Any question that we have now, we're coming to the last segment of our live FB here. Anything that you want us to talk about or opinion, we are here to help you in here. And some of these stocks are in here. I think one of the most common one is, you know, that is when is the rubber glove going to be turning bullish? Even today, this afternoon, we see another sell-off of 3% or 4%. We've seen on the rubber glove sectors, isn't it, right? So if rubber glove, unfortunately, rubber glove, we only have long, right? We will still be waiting one day where the Malaysian authority or regulators allow people to short, and then there's many ways we can benefit. All right, but I'd like to hear if you have any questions regards to the structured products or one of the stocks review you want me to do pencil in there, and on your right side, we'll be happy to add on. Okay. Okay, this is a question in here, I think doesn't refer to me. There's another one here. Any questions so far? All right. If you have any questions so far, do let me know. Okay. All right. Any last comment, Mr. Leong here from regards to the market? Any SW for Unisem? SW, what is SW, the context of Mr. Xiao? Unisem, or is that listed?
I think, Martin, I think Mr. Xiao is referring to like SW is structured warrants.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, it's a short form, I would say. So yes, we do have new Unisem call warrant listing in 2 weeks' time, because in fact, not just Unisem, we also have VTROX and other exciting names coming on the way. So make sure you follow us on Telegram. Of course, now you cannot see a warrant heat map, but once it's available, you will be able to find the Unisem call warrant on the warrant heat map. Okay, so make sure you follow us on our Telegram.
Good questions. Now, do take note. I think Mr. Leong did mention before, one of the criteria for any of the stock to be listed as a structured products is what, 1 billion or 2 billion. Am I correct, Mr. Leong?
It's actually 1 billion ringgit for 3 full months. So if you want to see a new underlying, you would say this month, in the month of August, then probably that particular stock needs to stay above 1 billion for month of May, month of June, and month of July. Every single day in the month must be 1 billion. One day fall below 1 billion, then you have to wait again.
Okay, there's a Mr. Liao here wanted to ask about Penta. And let's take a look at Penta right now. And Penta is very positive. You can see still a long trend from here, a long way to go. And we have CW. Unfortunately, this is turning orange, isn't it, for this call warrant? So care to comment, Mr. Leong? Perhaps maybe there will be some new issuance.
Yes, I think our existing Penta is going to expire soon. In fact, so better avoid this warrant if it's possible. But I mean, at the meantime, just keep yourself updated on our Telegram. Once we have a new Penta call warrant, we will update on Telegram.
Okay, this one I think expired already because the last trading day was 29th of March. Okay, if there's a good one, any more new warrant? That's right. We are okay. Any more questions of perhaps a request for new warrant? Do pencil it on the comment below, and we'll be happy to answer. Myself or Mr. Leong who can answer. But overall, I think many of you would understand the trend that we are going is continued to be only bullish for certain sectors. Yes, the Delta variant is here. It does cause some repercussions on the local market. But like what we saw last year in 2020, the work from home and the vaccination are doing quite well, doing a good job. And it is very unlikely that the economy will shut down like what we're seeing. Things are opening up, but they're not opening up fast enough. Right, and the barometers that we can see right now will be towards only will be US, and where we have seen, you know, the cases of US has gone up to about 100,000. But we want also to see how's the stock market able to price in this in here. Okay, yes, I think we got any more questions? KGB, do we have KGB in here? Oh, not yet. KGB, not yet. Right? Maybe next round. Mr. Leong. There's a request for KGB. All right, Doreen is asking about KGB warrant. Okay, KGB warrant is, I believe it's a company warrant and it's not part of the structure warrant. So it's not within this context. We will answer it perhaps another session. Any more questions in here? Okay. If not, we'll probably close our Warrant Tuesday for the month of August. And remember, the first Tuesday of every month, we have live FB here from our sponsored Macquarie Malaysia, and for our co-host and speaker, Mr. Leong, coming with us in here. Any last word before we sign off? Thank you for all this. And also Nikkei. There's someone asking for Nikkei index.
Yeah, I mean, Nikkei, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, these are the index we are looking at the moment. Hopefully fourth quarter, okay, just bear with us. Hopefully fourth quarter, we will have good news for all of you. But this year is a very exciting year for Macquarie because we have launched many products from the Hang Seng Tech to the Hong Kong stock warrants. So we will look to continue the momentum, come out with new products for Malaysian investors. But Martin, I would say before we end, probably we can go back to the slide to show the investors online here that we have an upcoming event on the 14th of August.
Yes, that's right. That's what I intend to do. There was a question here from Mr. Xiao, last question. How to trade Tencent if the sensitivity is 612?
If let's say sensitivity is 612, what I will tell you is ignore, because the Tencent C1, this particular warrant is no longer good. So if can, try to avoid. And for your information as well, we have a new Tencent call listing tomorrow. So that one will be much more sensitive. The sensitivity definitely is not 612.
Okay, and before we go, take note, this coming on the 14th of August, we will have two great speakers. One is Daryl Gopi, which is like a grand Sifu, has been around for many years, master of technical analysis. He will be streaming from all the way from China, right? Last remember.
Yes.
Yeah, he's still in China and speaks very good Mandarin. So check him out, and the QR code is on the left-hand side. where you can register for the market outlook. And also you have Ben Sean Lim, which is the research head, I'm not mistaken, for Macquarie. And he will be here taking you for the market outlook for second half of 2021. And of course, you are welcome to ask them question too if you do come for that one. So that, remember, 14th of August on morning 9:30 to 12:30. And I was the last speaker in the last conference too. All right. So take note of that one. And that's it. We're coming to an end. And thank you for attending today. Don't forget to join the Telegram for Malaysian call warrant to be updated regularly for in here. And also, not to forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel in here for all our video archive and very good information sharing, tips and sector updates to you in here. And of course, don't forget to join our Telegram chat room in here for all stock market information. Thank you for coming. I'll see you later, if not sooner. Bye-bye.
All right. See you. And I think before we end, Martin,
Sure.
To all the winners, I think Martin and the team will reach out to every one of you who actually win a GrabFood voucher. So make sure you check your email, you check your Facebook Messenger closely after the Facebook Live today. All right?
All right. We will have 10 winners for you today. So check out your Facebook Messenger at the end. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.